So I'll just start out here. 5 broken cameras. So this is about a guy. It's a home movie guy, basically. He's making home movies, which is usually not that interesting, except this guy lives in Palestine.
Yeah.
So it immediately becomes interesting just because of where he's making these movies. And in fact, he's in a disputed section of Palestine where Israel is literally building apartments on his front doorstep and keeps building more to resettle people in his backyard. And it's just about how he is sort of pointing his camera at the things that are happening around him. And it's kind of amazing because of that.
Yeah, it's really amazing how they were able to structure an entire movie around the concept of this guy having 5 cameras and all of them being broken at some point.
Yeah. 2 of them shot.
Yeah, due to the conflict. And you see the cameras themselves. I mean, it's the opening shot of the movie where you see these just very basic cameras that this guy's using to film his life. And much of the film is him filming sort of the conflict between, these two groups of people and sort of the protest that his small village, go through. And from that, you sort of extract these a couple of main characters. And which was really interesting is that he's really not a main character in the movie until, I would say, the last 20 minutes, probably, where it kind of turns the focus on him a little bit. But you just sort of see these people sort of get extracted out of the movie as leaders in a sense, and sort of their plight to do what they feel is right for their people, and sort of shows the conflict between these two groups. I really liked it. I don't want to say it was my favorite.
No, it wasn't my favorite
out of the group, but I definitely was sort of amazed on how a lot of this, not found footage, but a lot of this sort of just generic footage of sort of these things could sort of come together, because it's very heavily based on narration as well. He sort of describes everything in very meticulous detail in terms of sort of backstory, how these people are connected, and really helps interweave all the scenes together. So I with that, I thought that out of all the movies, I thought it did the best in terms of putting sort of a narrative to what was going on out of all the random footage they had, which I thought was pretty interesting. And it was kind of interesting too, because obviously you're dealing with 5 different cameras, so you're dealing with sort of 5 different qualities of footage, as well as sort of how his shooting gets better as sort of the time goes on, because it's like long stretches of time. He has these cameras for almost a year each, it seems like, and it's just like, oh, he's getting really like better, and he almost like he has like a shoulder mount, so that he can like steady the shots, and is sort of like knows how to like rack focus properly, and it's really interesting on how sort of, if you look into it in that sense, how he really becomes a much better filmmaker as the movie goes on.
Yeah.
And isn't the original reason why he got the camera was so that he could film his son growing up, essentially?
Yeah, basically. That's the only reason he got the camera. And then he became the guy in the village with the camera.
Right.
And so people would say, hey, come film this thing we're doing. And then he would. And he just happened to be in a place where, this was happening. I like also that it's not very heavy-handed. It'd be very easy to make like a serious like attack documentary, but it's literally just this guy is just filming things and just saying, this was the day when Israel came and here's their soldiers, and you just watch what they do. That's it.
Yeah, it really kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, you don't need anyone sort of saying anything really intense about it. A Place for Film is recorded at WFIU Studios in Bloomington, Indiana.